We finally got some more news for EA Sports College Football 25. Now, it's been about 3 or so weeks since the last big news for this game, which was the gameplay deep dive. They've been putting out some Madden information, but now we're fully back on the College Football 25 train until release on July 19th, early release July 16th. Now, all week long, they're going to be dropping different news about the game, some rating stuff for teams. They're going to also have a deep dive blog tomorrow on presentation, but today they've dropped some info on the toughest places to play. Now, if you are new to the channel and you don't want to miss out on any of this big news all week or the news coming over the next few weeks, as we're going to have Dynasty deep dives, we're going to have more gameplay videos and more, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of these important videos when they go live. Trying to get to 600K subs before the release of this game, so if everybody watching just subscribed, we can hit that number in a few days, and the support lately has been crazy. So before we get into the top 25 places to play, here is the schedule for this week. So today we're getting that information. Tomorrow we get the sights and sounds deep dive, which is basically just another way of saying presentation. So we'll probably see a lot of what goes into the pregame, the commentary. We'll see some of the traditions and stuff like that. We'll probably see some stuff with the crowds and maybe some of the songs that are in the game and pretty much everything that goes into making presentation. Then on Thursday, we're going to get the top offenses and defenses in the game, and on Friday we're going to get the overall team power ranking. So this is going to be a big week of debate. A lot of people are going to be mad, including today, because people are going to want their team ranked where they want it, and some people are going to think that their teams are ranked too low or other teams are ranked too high, but that's just how it goes. So let's get into the blog for today. This isn't the biggest news in the world. Tomorrow we're going to have a lot more news, but something kind of to kickstart the week here. It says toughest places to play. We laid out the significant impact that home field advantage can have on the outcome of games in EA Sports College Football 25 during our gameplay deep dive campus huddle. Audio and in-game modifiers such as blurred routes, incorrect play art, confidence and composure effects, and screen shaking are some of the immersive impacts away teams and players will be forced to contend with. But not all home field advantages are created equal. The development team worked to compile a list of the top 25 places to play, factoring in historical stats such as home winning percentage, home game attendance, active home winning streaks, team prestige, and more. And it also says here that rankings are subject to change in future updates, which is good. So much like they update rosters throughout the year based on how people are playing, they're going to also update the toughest places to play as well, which that'll be really cool to see in real time. If one of these teams that are lower on the list are really playing well at home, they put together a winning streak, they're climbing up the rankings, their stadium will be considered a tougher place to play and it will go higher up on the list, which would be pretty cool. So they put out this graphic here with the top 10 list. We can see that we have Texas A&M at number 1, which was a little surprising to me, but I did think they would be in the top 5 because they are, they are one of the better home field advantages in college football, I would say. Then you've got Alabama at number 2, no surprise. I am surprised LSU was number 3 because when I played the early version of the game at EA, they were actually number 1. So I'm guessing that stuff wasn't final. We also saw that Penn State was number 2 in the trailer and things like that. So clearly those things were not final. I thought LSU would probably be 1 or 2, but I'm not mad at 3. We're in the top 5. I'm good with that. We've got Ohio State at number 4. We've got Georgia at 5. Penn State at 6 feels a little low. I thought they would for sure somehow be in that top 5 somewhere. We've got Wisconsin at number 7, Oklahoma at 8, Florida State at 9, and we've got Florida at 10. Now again, these are subject to change throughout the year, so a few weeks into the season, this list is probably going to be different. Now looking at the rest of the top 25 here, starting at 11, we've got Oregon at 11, we've got Clemson at 12, Tennessee at 13, Auburn at 14, South Carolina at 15, Michigan at 16, Virginia Tech at 17, Utah at 18, Texas at 19, Iowa at 20, Notre Dame at 21, Michigan State at 22, Arkansas at 23, Boise State at 24, and Mississippi State at 25. Now, of course, let me know below which ones do you disagree with and what do you think is the most disrespected team here? Maybe a team that didn't make the top 25 or maybe a team that should be in the top 5 or top 10 and they're not. Let me know below. Now, really quickly, before we continue on with some other information, I do want to let you know that we are still sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. If you like sports and you like winning money, then you've got to be on Underdog Fantasy playing their pick'em game. Basically, all you have to do is pick higher or lower on a wide variety of player stats, and if they hit, you can win some big money. But the best part about Underdog Fantasy is they'll always give you a free play at sign up, and they'll give you up to $250 in bonus cash. So for example, if you sign up this week, they'll give you Shohei Ohtani to get 1 plate appearance, meaning all you have to do is show up at the plate 1 time and that's it, you win. Or if you sign up on a WNBA day, they'll give you somebody like Caitlin Clark to score a single point. Basically just a free play that's guaranteed to hit. And if you use my promo code RAY, R-A-Y, they'll also give you up to $250 in bonus cash to play with, and you can't beat that. Now, a lot of people have been asking, when are we going to get the rest of the news for the game? Now, obviously, I told you what to expect this week. This is going to be a big week, but the next couple of weeks are also going to be pretty big as well, because some stuff did get pushed back due to Madden trailers and stuff like that getting delayed, so everything kind of got pushed back a little bit. But the game does launch in less than 3 weeks, and there's still quite a bit of deep dives left to come, so we're going to be getting a lot of information kind of jam-packed into the next few weeks. And some people were wondering, are we even going to get these deep dives at all because we're getting so close to release? Yes, we're still going to get them all. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to get the presentation one, and we're going to get some rating stuff throughout the week. Now, the next couple of weeks, there's going to be, I believe, 3 more deep dives to come, because usually every game mode gets its own deep dive. So that would mean Dynasty, that would mean Road to Glory, and that would also mean Ultimate Team. Now, typically what they do in Madden, they're going to come with like franchise first, which would be Dynasty for college football. Then they would come with the career mode, which would be Road to Glory here. And then Ultimate Team is usually the very last deep dive they do, usually about a week before the game comes out, sometimes even sooner than that. So what I would expect going forward, I don't know this 100%, but this is what I would expect based on what they have left to show us and the timeline left before the game comes out. I would expect Dynasty to be the next deep dive after this week, because it is the biggest mode in the game. I'm honestly surprised they're not doing the Dynasty deep dive before the presentation, but I have heard that the Dynasty deep dive is super, super long. If you thought the gameplay one was long, I believe that blog was like 35 pages. I've heard from the people that are writing that blog that the Dynasty one is double that amount. So that's going to be a pretty long video and a pretty big breakdown when that drops. Maybe they're still working on it because there's so much info going into Dynasty, so maybe that's why it's not dropping right now. But I would expect that to be next week, because that is probably the most important one that's left to drop by far. Then after that, you'll probably get Road to Glory. Now, whether they drop 2 of them in the same week, I don't know. They might have to at some point because we're getting so close to release, but you should expect Dynasty. Then I would expect Road to Glory, and then right before the game drops, for those who are interested, I would expect the Ultimate Team deep dive then. And then at some point, we should be getting some early gameplay. We did see that Donovan Edwards posted a picture on his Instagram story last week about being at EA, and it said something about college football 25 gameplay. And typically with Madden, what EA does is they'll get somebody to record gameplay, whether it's a player, whether it's pro players, or whatever the case may be. And typically they put out a full game's worth of gameplay. It could be any time between a month to 2 weeks before the game actually drops. So since we're kind of in that window, there is a possibility we could be getting a real full gameplay coming soon. It'll probably come from EA themselves. So there's a lot of info that they're going to be jam-packing into these next few weeks here. So make sure you subscribe with the bell icon on, because we're going to be having info after info after info. And it's pretty much just a race at this point until the release of the game, because they still have a ton of stuff to drop on us. So we shouldn't have too many quiet weeks going forward. It should be nothing but constant info just getting thrown at our heads, which I'm excited about. And if you guys want to be up to date on that, just make sure you're here, because I'll have it for you as soon as possible every time they put the info out. Now, if you want to catch up on all the stuff we do know about Dynasty and Road to Glory already, you can check out this video right here on the screen.